We're going to find something other than news to talk about, because I'm nervous about what the news is going to be these next 4 years. But you wanted it. You're going to get it. Welcome, I'm Rob. This is the live stream. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live 5 days a week. Is today Friday? Today's Friday. Sometimes I stream Fortnite. I haven't lately, though. We're going to talk about Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy heading the Department of Government Efficiency, which is not a real thing. It is an unauthorized program. It is not authorized by Congress. And I mention that specifically because of the irony that's about to happen in this news story. Elon and Vivek want to cut any unauthorized programs, cut the funding to any unauthorized programs. Ironically, an unauthorized... Hey, what's up, CJ? Happy Friday to you. Elon Musk and his doge unauthorized by Congress program that is going to run outside of government so they could do whatever they want. But make no mistake, the oversight for the government efficiency headed up by two people, already inefficient. It's an unauthorized program. It's just made up. It's make fucking believe. You want to know how the game is rigged, folks? Wealthy people make stuff up. Why? So they could do what they want. And they're saying we want to cut any unauthorized programs. Any unauthorized programs will not get funding. Well, there's certain programs like Head Start, which helps kids in lower income communities. My kids used it. And it's a great program because it gets kids into, kind of like not a daycare, but it's like a pre-K thing. And yeah, Noah, it's very messed up. But this is what the people want. I didn't vote for it. I'm in Massachusetts. We didn't vote for this shit. But the people did. And the people are going to find out real quick that CEOs and the wealthy do not have the same interests you and I do. I want people to have access to healthcare, education, college for free, a living wage, be able to afford to buy a house, go on vacation. These are the things I want. And I even want them for people who voted for Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I want the Trump supporters to be able to go to college for free. I want my taxes to be able to pay for veterans' health care. I want my taxes to pay for your health care. That's what I would like my taxes for. But Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have announced that they plan to try and cut $2 trillion from the government, which I was listening to someone talk about, Larry Summers, who I think is even a moron. He helped us get into a financial crisis back in 2008, if you're old enough to remember that. So I don't know why anyone goes to him, but even that dude was saying you could fire everybody that works in the government and you wouldn't cut $2 trillion off the budget, which they're going to try to fire everyone in the government. But this doge, D-O-G-E, this is Elon Musk's humor. I can't believe people voted for this. This is like 6th grade fucking kid you don't like humor. And you don't like him because of this humor. You're like, just quit it. We get it. We get the joke. It's not fucking funny. Just shut up. Just shut up and go back to wetting your pants in the corner, Elon. We don't care you got diamonds or emeralds in your pocket. But Elon and Vivek, who are in charge of this unauthorized, this is not a real thing. They just fucking made it up. They're saying they want to cut funding to anything that's expired or unauthorized within the government. Well, just so you know, the Veterans Healthcare Reform Act of 1996 or 8, again, links down below. I'm an anti-establishment, Spencer. I'm not a liberal. I'm fucking a socialist. I'm somebody who wants the workers to have the power. I believe in clean air, clean water. But they want to cut funding. And one of those things that's expired that still gets $200 billion a year is veterans health care. Spencer, you don't want veterans health care to get funded? Because if you voted for Trump, this is what you voted for. Get ready. Buckle up. It's going to be a hard 4 years. Hard for you to figure out that A guy who bragged about having a gold toilet in the 80s is not your friend. And it starts here. So they're going to do their best. Hopefully our government has guardrails against this. But my goodness, the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy is already announcing that we want to cut that spending, which would cut veterans' health care. And I mean, this reform bill, which again, I put the link down below if you want to read the actual Congress.gov bill reform. It includes things like home nursing, furnishing hospitals. It allows veterans who are exposed in Vietnam to herbicides to be eligible. This is how messed up some of this stuff is. And if they cut funding to that, I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what. I don't mind when my taxes go to people's education, to people's health. And the reason some of these people like RFK, Elon Musk, Vivek, they're wealthy. They don't care. They don't worry about hospital bills or doctor's bills. It doesn't affect them like it affects us. The shakedown begins 100%. Spencer, you're right. What Trump is appointing, RFK, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. Like, Matt Gaetz is fighting to keep his files undercover. I just tweeted on Twitter an article about how Matt Gaetz was the lone person, the single person in Congress to vote against a anti-sex trafficking bill. He was the only one. Why do you think that is? Why do you think he doesn't want his documents coming out? There are some heinous allegations, and we want that guy to be the top cop? I mean, this is what people voted for. And the unfortunate thing is, it's not until it really affects them. The rhetoric, the hype, the talk, it's all good. Until it affects them. They all think like, oh, well, I don't want to vote for the status quo, or I voted with my wallet. I was better pre-pandemic. But what is about to happen is going to be, for instance, another thing that I linked down below is Trump has put his lawyers in top positions in the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice are the ones who are investigating Trump. You know, for hush money payments, for his charity crimes, for all these different things that he needs to be investigated for. Now, tell me, just if you're an American, if you like America, you should be able to see that lawyers that are defending you should not be in charge of prosecuting you. That's just the simple ABCs of conflict of interest. This is like basic shit. But nope, Trump has put his lawyers in top positions in the DOJ. So do you think any charges will come against him? Any investigations? No. But this is what the people wanted. Of course he did. What do you think about aliens? I don't know. Matt Gaetz is so... I can't even go into him. And that's who has been picked to be the top cop. The Attorney General. Top cop in the land. And this dude, I mean, just the simple Google search. And this is not like far-fetched stuff. Remember, Matt Gaetz, I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember just a few years ago, when Matt Gaetz' wingman was sent to prison and admitted to a lot of heinous things at high school parties. I mean, these dudes are not your friends. You wouldn't want them around your daughter. You wouldn't want them around your girlfriend. You certainly wouldn't want them around your wife. And your wife might be too old for these guys to be hanging out with. But let me tell you something. Everybody who voted for this, you're about to find out. You're about to find out that rhetoric, that the propaganda machine works very well. It's a slickly, well-oiled machine, and that the wealthy are very well organized. But the fact that, you know, what really pisses me off is like, you don't fuck with kids, veterans, our schools, our healthcare. Like, those are some like things that it's hard to put into words how angry it makes me. Especially because, like, I don't know, most of the countries in the world have figured out, I just talked about Canada, figured out how to do free insulin for anybody who needs it. Free insulin, whether you have private or the national health care, you get free insulin in Canada. Meanwhile, people are paying, what, $1,000 for insulin? A guy I work with just had to have a customer give him insulin. I mean, it's fucking bewildering. And this is what people voted for. This is what people voted for. It's sad, man. And the other thing that Elon Musk has vocally stated, that now that he spent $200 billion to help get Donald Trump elected, he wants to deregulate. He wants to get rid of regulations. Now, if you don't know, regulations, and I think I should preface it with this. A government isn't a business. A government provides services for people. The reason you should like a government, as corrupt as they have been and as messed up and as stock market trading as they have been selfishly, the reason our government was amazing is because we were representing people from our neighborhoods, allegedly. It's now just the wealthy. You have to be wealthy to run. But originally, or not originally, but in the ideal scenario, we were electing people to go and represent us. Like I teach my kids, your vote means you're giving them you're vouching for them to say, this person can speak for me. That's what our government was supposed to be. I feel like I gotta preface it with that. Elon Musk is an illegal immigrant. He's from South Africa. This dude ain't fucking American. Fuck him, number one. But number two, he's vocally against regulations. But regulations, just so you know, is what makes sure our water stays clean. Regulations make sure that at the factories when they're processing chicken, people aren't, getting the just protocols to make sure that it's not contaminated with poop or fecal matter. Okay, regulations protect us. That's how everything works. That's why when the regulations get loosened, like Trump did last time, you get more and more E. coli outbreaks, salmonella outbreak, all these outbreaks. Regulations are good. Industries, CEOs like Elon Musk don't like them because they have to adhere to these standards. Elon Musk hates them, especially with like his self-driving stuff and all the investigations that the National Traffic, whatever, safety, I don't know what it's called. Again, article down below. But Capital credit card. But Elon Musk hates regulations, because they have to look into if his cars, if you've seen any of the videos of his cars that can't stop, that burst into flames. He's got SpaceX, which after he helped Marco Rubio make a run for president, Marco Rubio, or is it Marco Rubio? The Florida dude. Marco Rubio helped, Governor DeSantis, sorry, not Marco Rubio. I don't know why I'm thinking of him. After Elon Musk helped fund and host DeSantis's run for president on Twitter, which was very short-lived, DeSantis decided that anything that crashes from SpaceX and hits a civilian, SpaceX isn't liable. That happened. Look it up. So Elon realized quickly, like, oh, I could buy off these politicians. I have infinite money. I can just fund them. And then I don't have to worry, say, if I don't want to do the testing or if my self-driving hurts or kills people. And he's saying he wants to deregulate those things. So be careful, because if you're not paying attention to this shit, all the things that you might take for granted that, people can't just say, our car can self-drive, and then when it gets on the road, the brakes don't stop. Or if any video you've watched about people using the self-driving feature in Tesla where like it runs through a red light, if that happens to you, maybe it will change your mind. But I pray, these are the things that why I like regulations, because I pray those aren't the things you have to endure to fucking be like, oh, maybe this is bad, that a CEO doesn't want the government to regulate anything, so he could just say it works and then send it out into the field without having to test it or go through this rigorous standard of qualifications that we've got to this point for a reason. We like years ago, you didn't have to wear a seatbelt. It wasn't the law. And then enough people started dying and enough people started making noise where they're like, all right, seatbelts obviously save lives, and we need the laws. And Elon Musk, again, link down below, is saying he wants to get rid of a lot of regulations. And I'm guessing the ones he would like to get rid of have to do with automobiles and driving, space travel, and what else? And anything with Neuralink. Well, I'm sure Elon cannot just do that. It would make a bad name for his company. He doesn't, his company name is already trash. What do you mean? He doesn't care. And he's preying on your ignorance. I'm not specifically saying you, Leo Z Fire, but I'm saying he's preying on people's ignorance to be unaware. And then the propaganda machine. Why do you think he bought Twitter? Because he can amass an army of bots to repeat his lies. And this works. Just take a look. Take a peek through history, folks. This works. There's just new technology that they can utilize to do this. But it doesn't matter, because the twist and propaganda is so slick, because if he deregulates, and which they will, Trump has already done it. Trump is a CEO too. These people will do this. This is like their goal. So their businesses can make more money, spend less on safety, less on workers, less on regulations. And then when things happen, they will spin it as, oh, it's the radical woke left that, you know, did whatever. That's what's coming. Elon does have a bad name. Elon does. You and I can disagree. It's my opinion and your opinion, but he said himself, again, like I listen to what the man says, reading through the bullshit. He said Cybertruck, they dug their own grave with it. He said, like, you know, it was foolish to fuck, or he didn't want to buy Twitter for the bid he put in, and he's lost 70%. So I mean, if you just see these things without the bias of like, I love him, or he's gonna save humanity, and you just look at the fucking fact sheet, you'll see that's not a good name. Like, somebody told me the other day, well, Twitter's still managing to function as a site, and I said, are you on there? And he went, no. I said, that's a low bar to be like, well, you overpaid for it, lost 77 or 70 to 77% of the value of the company, but because it's still running, he still gives Elon a good name. I said, that to me is fucking stupidity. If you think the bar is just the website still runs and the content on there has nothing to do with it, or how rubbish it's become. I've been a Twitter user for a long time, and I can tell you the degradation of that website. Like, it's obvious. You don't have to use it for long. If you just go on, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is a wasteland. But so you could, who was it? Reagan. Of course, her name's Reagan. Sound like I'm from Massachusetts, but I sound like I'm from, you know, the place where fucking I want workers and people who make this economy go to be able to survive. That's where I come from. I come from a place of like, we're not paid enough. And if you think Elon Musk, he fired a guy in the town next to me because that guy tried to unionize because they didn't have heat in the winter and AC in the summer. If you think that guy is your friend, that's what I've said. Like, I wonder who the people that work, that are like on his assembly lines, who they voted for. He bought it because he wanted free speech. He's the richest man in the world, and no one else could say that. So wait, this is what I mean. It's like, I almost can't do this. You think he's keeping free? Reagan, are you on Twitter? Because I've been on it, and I've been punished on it. You think he's doing it for free speech? It's like, critically think. I need you to use your noggin. You got one up there. Being the richest man in the world, again, this is something that Americans really struggle with, doesn't make you the smartest. Again, I need you to critically think. Nobody else can say that they've been a felon and gotten to be president. Does that make you the best at something? See, and this is what it degrades into, Reagan. This is why I'll be done acknowledging your comments, because you should work a job so you can make more money. First of all, fucking take your time and type it better. But second of all, stop being a dummy. Okay? Stop. It's not about how much I make. It's not about what I work. I'm sure you're one of the people that say minimum wage jobs are for teenagers. You want to get better pay, go to college and get a skill. And that's fucking dumb. You obviously don't know your... Listen, you did win, Reagan. You 100% won. And what I'm saying is buckle up. If you're even American, if you're even in America. I don't think like Harris. Harris is Republican light, okay? The left is diet fucking Republicans, you morons. And if you just stop gobbling up like these ketchup roosters you are, if you'd stop gobbling up the BS that they feed you and used your noggin thought for a little bit. Yeah, it's just a bot if you want, CJ. Because they're just dumb. I want conversation. You know, if you can't recognize that a CEO who has to adhere to regulations is saying, I'm going to deregulate shit, I'm getting rid of those safety protocols that I have to go through. If you can't see that that doesn't benefit society in general, you're a fucking dummy. Plain and simple. How have you made it on Earth this long? Jesus Christ. Spencer, I was a lifelong Democrat and I'll be anything but what's in now. I get it. Well, I wasn't a lifelong Democrat. When I got my learner's permit at 15, I registered Green Party. Mostly because I was 15 and I thought that was a funny weed joke. and then the more I got educated, the more I realized, well, I should even distance myself from the Green Party. Is there an anarchist, an anti-establishment party? No. Is there a socialist party? No. Is there a independent? Oh, that's what I have to do? Fuck. Okay. But listen, thank you, CJ. Listen, Leo Z Fire. What we're all gonna find out right now. I'm not even American. We feel it coming. Wake up. Thank you, Doreen. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love Doreen. Love CJ. Leo, we're gonna find out what kind of safeguards and what kind of checks and balances. We've always been told that. And we're gonna find out over these next 4 years. They're gonna be tested to the limit. So Labor Party. Yep. We do have a Labor Party. You are correct. But my point is like, fuck. Even that Reagan dude, who is probably some 13-year-old white, like this is who I usually deal with that does this bullshit to me. It's usually these white kids who have been raised in a fucking way that they've never, experienced any kind of true hardship, and they just think there's welfare queens, which, listen to the fucking language. If you're on welfare, you ain't a queen of shit. And that's why they do it. They pay attention to the language, folks. And it's these fucking dudes who have simple answers to complex problems that they always degrade into what we just saw with Reagan. What he just did was, well, why don't you work harder? And then just called me soft hands. It's like there's no conversation. And that's what we need to have. But unfortunately, I think most of America is at less than a 6th grade reading level. So these white entitled privileged brats that fucking like to, pretend it's just people not working hard enough. Tell that to my fucking wife, who's a nurse, who has saved people through fucking COVID, works 2 jobs at 2 different nursing places who we can still barely get by, and I have a job, you fucking twat. But the difference between me and Reagan is I don't want to see people suffer. I've suffered enough in my life. I lost my parents at a young age. My brother's been homeless for longer than I can remember. I've watched so many of my friends die. They're not alive anymore. From an opioid epidemic pushed upon us by the Sackler family that preyed upon addicts, that lied to doctors and told people this was not addictive. And they got off scot-free. And through all the suffering, from me being homeless while I was making 6 figures a year to now making fucking, what is it, four figures a year? I think I'm making 4 figures a year. The difference between me and Reagan, let me be very clear, because I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, is I don't even want him to suffer. In fact, I really want Reagan to be able to go to college. And if he goes, who's going to pay for it? Not my taxes? Well, guess what, Reagan? I want my taxes to pay for it, you dick. That's the difference between me and you. We are not the same. Even if I call you a soft-handed, privileged brat, I want you to understand something. I still think you deserve health care, a warm home, food on your plate, and fucking, if you want, higher education. I believe in all of that. Even for my enemies. The rich get rich, the poor get poor. What would you feel if you got drafted into World War III? If I got drafted, what would you want me to feel? I don't think wars solve problems, but I think they're fucking, you know, how rich people deal with them. I mean, I don't know what kind of question that is. I think the questions we should be asking are ones of like conflict of interest, simple critical thinking things. The appointments that are happening right now. I need you guys paying attention. Not fighting in a war for this shit. No one wins a war anyways, except who those don't actually fight. 100%. That's what I just said. The rich wars are how rich people solve problems, okay? Because you ain't seeing no rich kids going to fucking war. Ain't happening. It's poor people. And they send them to their slaughter. But wars do no good. The only war I want to see is a class war. I want us to be organized. I think networks, organization, neighborhoods, communities all need to be paying attention. They got you fighting a culture war while these wealthy people watch what's happening right now. They have organized the class war and then they are about to rain hell on us. I'll link all the articles down below that I talk about. I'll link them all, okay? I'll link it all down below so you can read these for yourself. I'm not making this shit up. Seriously. Trump just appointed his lawyers into the Department of Justice. That's like the police investigating the police. The police aren't going to find anything wrong when they have to investigate themselves. Trump's lawyers who are defending him against the government right now are not going to continue to fucking prosecute or investigate these cases. And those are the things that, this is why I say this isn't team sports, folks. Government is supposed to provide services, supposed to implement justice and rule in a humane, civilized way. Fucking, and now you have a bunch of CEOs who want to just protect their neck. They're like the fucking Wu-Tang Clan out here. They're just going to protect their neck. And they say cash rules everything around them. Cream in the money. Dollar bill, yeah. Now for these drafts. No, I'll go to prison. I'm so broke I can't even afford to pay attention. What's up, Squeaky Wheel? Good to see you. Good to see you, Squeaky Wheel. And Noah, good to see you. I know you've been in here for a minute. Thing like that should be free in a perfect society. Yep. It's all about money, man. It is. Sorry, I'm trying to go back and read some of these comments. Free speech that Twitter had 0 and X got 1. Twitter, let me break it down because I was there when it was Twitter and I was there when it was X. If it was truly about free speech, and I don't want to go into this deeply because it's so fucking dumb. It's so obvious. Elon Musk doesn't like free speech. If he did, he wouldn't fight against people who are trying to unionize at a shop, which is protected speech. That is fucking federally protected. And on a platform he owns, as soon as he said comedy is legal, free speech bullshit, and everybody made fun of him, he outlawed it. He said, you're going to get banned if you don't put satire in your fucking thing. That's not a free speech absolutist. It's as simple as that shit. Simple. Simple. Free speech isn't him deleting accounts that have fucking posted not even nearly the heinous, hateful things that these neo-Nazis on that website, and I see them, are posting. And they don't get banned. Or the people that are harassing women on that website, and they don't get banned. And people put screenshots of his website saying, we didn't find any violation. But then there are people in the press who are talking about him, and he bans it. That's not free speech. Free speech means you have to fucking endure critiques of yourself. Dollar bill, y'all. Darian. We got to get Darian back on. Darian, I'll write you. Sorry. It's been hectic, and I know it's been hectic with you. I'll just say that. So, no sweat, but you and I got to connect. CJ, we have a pretty whack-ass government ourselves. We shouldn't be talking, but trust you, everybody here is big mad because of unseasoned mofo being elected. Yeah, Elon owns the platform. It's his speech. 100%. It's his speech. And that's what it degrades into whenever I have a conversation with people, because I've watched it in real time. I've witnessed it. I've been banned for a weekend on there. And what it degrades into, well, he owns it then. And it's like, well, no, I thought you were saying he's a free speech absolutist. It's amazing the people that just hear what he says and then just take it at its word. And they don't look at any of his actions. I'd rather look at people's actions than fucking hear what the fuck they're blabbing about. Money costs nothing, okay? By the way, is anybody, I just realized Mike Tyson's fighting, what's his name? One of them reject Paul brothers. I hope that Paul, which one? Not Logan. He's got another one. Tony, Dylan. What's another really white Ohio name? Or Iowa? Pete. What's the other Paul? Logan, Paul, and I don't even know his name. Shane? Is it Shane Paul? What the fuck is his name? I don't know the other Logan brother's name. Anybody know? But Mike Tyson's fighting the young, the fucking, the one who everyday bro. You want to see something embarrassing? I'm shocked he hasn't. You know he's making money off of his music videos because he hasn't deleted them. And those are horrifically embarrassing. Jake. Thank you. That's the other white dude name. Jake. I'm Jake. I don't care how tough he is. I fucking hate that dude. I have respect to him for getting into boxing. Listen, I boxed for like 10 years. I love boxing. And he whooped my ass. I'll say that. But he's wealthy. He gets to only box all day. Like, that's all he does. He gets up, makes a vlog about him kissing his dad or something. I don't know what they do. His dad makes out with his wife, and then he's trains boxing all day. If I get to do that, fuck, man. You see me in the ring, too. I gotta work a dead-end job fucking out here. I ain't got money to go to boxing anymore. But Mike Tyson's fighting, what's his name? Jake Paul. Dylan. I feel like he should have been a Dylan. I hope for the iconic career he's had that Jake won't have an opportunity to sneak in a good punch. Yeah, I know. Tyson's 60. Tyson was smoking weed forever. But listen, I don't know. Trump won and Elon Musk is fucking trying to cut veterans' health care. So anything can happen, folks. I could win the lottery tonight, okay? Anything could happen. But let me just say, Mike Tyson, as tough as Dylan Paul is, as tough as he is, and that dude, he trains. That dude's tough. He'll hit you hard. I'll give him that. No doubt. I hate him as a human, but that motherfucker will hit you. It stands nothing to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is an alien. Somebody asked me about aliens before. Mike Tyson, no, not even an alien. Mike Tyson is a unicorn, okay? Mike Tyson is otherworldly. He is supernatural. That dude is unlike anything. Again, anything could happen. Anything could happen. But, man, I'll tell you, I would not want to get hit by Mike Tyson. Shutting down Fed Department of Education, is that better work? Oh, my God. Shutting down the Department of Education. Dylan Paul. Cushmaster, 42069. Great name. Do you think if we shut down the Department of Education, that's a good thing? Remember, I said earlier, the average American reads below a 6th grade level. We need to be pumping that up. Why do you think the wealthiest people who can afford to send their kids to the best schools would shut down the public fucking education things? Which also, by the way, affects kids with special needs and those who most need the help. That is a heinous, that is the coldest fucking thing you could do. And you know who wants it? People that want to keep people uneducated. Again, I need people to just, listen, it doesn't matter if it sucks. Does it need to be revamped? We went from number 1 Department of Education to number 32. Number 32? Why do you think that shit is? It's not because they fucking kept it open. And you think if we close it down, we're going to go back to number 1? Critical think, people. Critical think. It needs money. It needs investment. It needs people to give it resources. We have the most expensive college in the world. Fucking think about this, people. Why do you think we read below a 6th grade reading level? It's not because we invested a ton of money and time. And I implore you, God, Darian, this is where I need your help. Look at education in Western Europe. They put resources. They have amazing fucking schools. There are amazing schools in America too. But if you think shutting something down is going to bring us back to number one, you're crazy. Leave the money to the states. The saddest part about that is like these red states, the Bible Belt in the South. States like mine, like New York and Massachusetts and California, we subsidize those states because you guys come in under budget, because you have the worst illiteracy, because you have the worst fucking morbidly obese people. I don't know if you're from those states, but I'm just saying, like, those states are ill run. Just look, like they always say, like the blue states have shootings and immigrants and all that. It's like, look at the red states and their illiteracy rates or where they rank in education. They're fucking morons. And why do you think that is? Because they want to keep you stupid. Oh. Brainwash. Why? Because I'm thinking, because what you said is shut down the Department of Education, because we went from number 1 to 32. Number 1, I don't think we were ever number 1 in the world. Cite your link, put it in the comment. You can say whatever you want, but the US has never been number 1 in education, you fucking dolt. But you think shutting down the Department of Education is gonna what? Make us smarter? Like, just I'm trying to get behind your logic. You're like, we're really bad in education, so let's not have an education program. These people are so dumb, it's funny. Never mind the budget, it goes back to the states. Curriculum, yeah, 100%. And here in Massachusetts, the curriculum is pretty good. First 30-second on X and didn't fact check it. Thank you, Jay Lee. This is the shit where it's like Trump and Elon Musk say shit like that. People are like, yeah, we used to be number 1. It's like, bro, have you fucking met anybody from Russia? They usually speak like 4 languages. Have you met anybody from fucking Europe? Have you ever traveled to Europe and they can all speak English to you? They choose not to, but they can do it. Bro, they fucking learned. They're all bilingual. Like, most of fucking the other world is bilingual. And they tolerate us because we have the mindset of speak English. Or some people even say speak American, which is even fucking dumber. It's so funny. It's like, bro. And then they're like, it's overfunded. Yeah, that's it. But again, here's our education at work, you fucking dummies. Darian, yep. That's the one thing they could learn from us Europeans, healthcare, education. I'm telling you, I'm not unhappy. In fact, I'm very blessed in my life, Austin. I fear for people like you who think this is like the path. And I just pray only because I've had enough people in my life suffer and I've lost enough people that I pray it doesn't affect you. You know, I pray you're one of the lucky ones. I gotta wrap this up. I've been on for a while. Thank you guys so much. Darian, CJ, everybody else who was in here. Much love, much respect. Links down below. Hit subscribe and notification bell. Peace.